Alright, is your car thirsty for gas? Learn how to run your car on water. Alright, this is part three of the book. Final assembly and testing. If the water pump is installed with the trunk connected to the positive power lead to the battery to positive power bus connector position. If the pump is installed with the engine compartment, swipe the hookup of the wire with the T to its positive power lead with the butt connected with the connect with the battery positive bus connector position. In the like manner, connect the positive negative power lead to the connector position leading to the connector lead with the E3055T switch as shown in figure 7. Fill the water hybrid system tank with the water. Check the no water leak for the tank of any type. Tube fitting is necessary to correct any repair leaks. And note, your vehicle is now ready to run with supplemental water for the first time with the water hybrid system. For initial operation, is best engine is already warmed up to normal operation temperature. It's not the temperature driven only on solely gasoline power for at least 15 minutes. Park your vehicle on level surface with the parking brake engaged, transmission in neutral. Lift the trunk lid and the water pump if it is installed in the trunk. Lift the hood and the engine compartment cover. Follow the manufacturer's instruction for the engine adapter for the hydrogen operation. Closely monitor the pressure gauge. If the generator gas pressure exceeds 70 psi, shut off the pump power off immediately. After safe precaution, pressure exceeds 85 psi is vented by the pressure relief valve. Do not depend on the relief valve to relieve excessive pressure. Any system problems exist, shut off the power immediately. Idle gas pressure should be ranged between 12 psi and 28 psi at full power, about 28 to 62 psi. Refer to figure 5 and 6 for the throttle adjustment, pulse width adjustment, one of each for the torque with the frequency and adjust for the strength with adjustment, ports for the midpoint with the rotation immediately after applying power. Check with the possibility of any of the following problems. If any of the problem exists, immediately shut off the power. Smoke and electrical sparking, generator pressure exceeding 70 psi, electrical overheating, any system component, gas or water leak from the generator, water leak from the tube of the fitting with the other components. Turn on power. Wait for the generator pressure to reach at least 25 psi. If the generator pressure will not reach at least 25 psi, go to step 7. When the pressure reaches to at least 25 psi, start the engine. Run the engine idle until the instructed to do otherwise, and then check if none of the problems noted above exist. If the problems exist, immediately shut off the power and go to step 6. If the engine starts, go to step 26. If the engine will not start, go to 7. If the problem noted at the beginning with the step exists, then go to step 6. Verify the power off. The system components either has failed, the defect, the troubleshoot location of the component, repair the placement of the component, go back to step 5. Step 7. Shut off the power, drain a small bucket with a large container, open the generator, drain cock, drain only until empty, clean the close the drain cock. If no water is drained, go to step 8. If at least some of the water is drained, go to step 14. 8. Turn on the power on. Verify the water pump runs. If the pump runs, go to step 9. If the pump does not run, turn off the power. Go to step 25. 9. Verify the water in the reach of the pump inlet with the water reaches the inlet. Go to step 13. If the water does not reach the inlet, go to step 10. Disconnect the tubing. 10. Disconnect the tubing of the pump outlet. Verify the water now reaches the pump inlet. Water reaches the inlet. Go to step 12. If the water does not reach the inlet, go to step 11 and turn off the step 11. Turn off the power. Check the restriction of the tube leading of the pump inlet. If the restriction located with the repairs necessary, reconnect the tube and go to step 5. If no restriction exists, the pump is defective, it must be repaired and replaced. After the pump the replacement, reconnect the pump and then go to step 5. Step 12. Verify the water for the following for the power pump outlet. If turn the power off, if the water flowing with the check valve either defective or other be installed backward or has been installed backward. Replace the check valve reinstalled within the flow area of the point and the torque of the generator. Reconnect the tube and go back to step 5. If the water is not flowing with the pump, the defective must be repaired, replaced. After the pump's repair replacement, reconnect the pump and go back to step 5. Snap the tubing of the pump outlet with the water will now flow through the pump of the outlet. Turn off the power of the water flowing with the check valve with the defective the pipe being installed backwards. Check the valve with the reinstall of the arrow pointing towards the generator. Go to the back to step 5. If the water is not flowing, the pump is defective must be repaired. Replace after the pump repair the replacement. Reconnect the pump and go to step 5. Turn on power. Verify the no water present with the turbo leading with the generator to the flame. The rest turn off the water is present. Go to step 5. If the water is not present, go to step 17. Or it's figure 15, step 15. Refer to figure 7 to cover out the generator water civil switch wire connected with the hydrotronics positive the power bus within the 6-inch generator over the end of the generator strip. The 1/4 inch each with the cut lead with the cut the meter lead wire to the existing generator with the other lead with the vehicle ground negative. Verify the meter will indicate that the switch contact open. The switch contact opens. Go to step 16. The switch contacts are closed with the slosh shield that has been incorrectly installed. Remove the slosh and shield and reinstall it. Be sure that the shield is accurately centered around the switch float. Reconnect the switch wires with a bolt butt connector and go to step 5. Reconnect the switch wire with the bolt butt connector. The defective component exists in the home control circle. To replace the defective component, go back to step 5. Verify the check valve with tube leading with the engine installed with the flowing with the air point with the door of the engine. If the check valve is installed, go to step 18. If the check valve is not installed correctly, remove the tubing and reinstall it correctly. Go to step 5. When we set the water container level surface to make the water level on the side of the container, dispose of the water to close the generator drain cock. Disconnect the gas outlet over the top of the generator, turn the power on, wait for the water pumping to stop the running, shut off the power to open the drain cock, drain the water in the container until the generator is empty, go over the drain cock for check the water level to dispose of the water. If the water level is higher than the level of the mark in step 18, go to step 20, water level is about the same, go to step 26. Reconnect step 20, reconnect the tubing, disconnect the tubing, the carburetor adapter, turn the power on, wait for the water pump to stop running, shut off the power to open the drain cock with the drain water, the generator is empty for the drain, go to the drain cock with the water level to dispose of the water level is higher than the level of the mark in step 18, go to step 21, the water level is the same, and then go to step 22. The adapter associated parts either defective the repair, adjustment following the manufacturer instruction, either adjust the adapter, return the manufacturer, adjust the repair, reconnect the tubing, and go back to step 5. Step 22, reconnect the tubing, disconnect the tubing between the flame and the arrestor, check for the valve to turn on, wait for the water pump to stop running, shut off the power, open the drain cock, drain the water with the container with the generators empty, close the drain cock, check the water level, dispose of the water over the water. If the water level is higher than the level of the mark in step 18, go to step 23. The water level is about the same, go to step 24. Check 23. The check valve is defective. Replace the valve and reconnect the tubes and go back to step 5. To the flame arrestor has been constructed incorrect with the flame arrestor, but the tube remove the fitting to dispose of the flame arrestor, return the flame arrestor procedure following the instruction. They're constructing a new flame arrestor of the CBC PVC cement air drive at least 24 hours. Apply the thin coat of the pipe joint compound tape the rest of the end of the flame arrestor fitting for the fitting of the flame arrestor tightening fin. Firmly install the new flame arrestor and the tubing and go back to step 5. Step 25. Turn the power over to the most likely cannon pump failure the film itself with the cut the pump the negative bus wire to check the pump for operation while disconnect the hydrotonic module or the pump that still does not run or draws current excess of 15 amps during the startup. Repair, replace the pump wires, then use the butt connector. Check for the setting of the main fuse if blown. If the fuse has been blown, replace it and go to back to step 5. Alright, if the plumb operates normally, reconnect the wire with the butt connector. Check the verify with the EO30556C with the switch for the figure 7. The video has not been failed to do. The pump's current overload. Switch has failed to replace with the switch at higher current capacity. Go back to step 5. The switch has failed to generate water level of the wire connected to the higher hydrotronics positive power bus is within 6 inches of the converter. Generator strip 1/4 inch of the end of the cut lead to connect the ammeter lead wire existing generator other lead of the vehicle ground. Verify the ammeter indicate the switch contact with the clove. If the switch contacts close, either the pump is defective, each pump circuit the component is defective. Refer to figure 7. When wiring error exists, troubleshooting locate the problem, repairs the place, and necessary to after correcting, go back to step 5. If the switch contacts opening with the switch slosh has been correctly installed, remove the slosh and reinstall with the be sure to accurately center it around the switch flow. Reconnect the switch wire with the butt connector. Go back to step. Verify no water is present. Tube leading with the generator flame system arrestor. If the water is present and to turn off the power, go back to step 15. If the water is not present, read the following notes. Go to step 27. Alright, note, water hybrid system designed to operate well over the wide range of the different electrical settings adjustment. If the tolerance just above the short, growth of the adjusting air, however, since the engine with unique requirements obtain the optimal performance most matter, making simple trailer and air adjustments. Here are some of the general guidelines obtaining performance verifying effective known as tweaking. Idle generator pressure should be at 12 psi to 28 psi. Full power generator should be between 28 and 62 psi. For each driving or idle condition, the cylinder head temperature never exceeds 4 degrees more than the value recorded in step 1. Be sure the cylinder head temperature never exceeds 400 degrees. Alright, tweaking the wire hybrid system easier and safer the faster than another person's over the driving while doing the tweaking. Park your vehicle and engine idle, the transmission neutral parking, brake set with water, and wait until the generator pressure stabilizes and goes to step 30. Drive your vehicle in 25 miles an hour residential air with the frequency adjusted. The pot is rotated clockwise and increase generator pressure to go to step 30. If the frequency adjusted pot with the counterclockwise increase the generator pressure, go to step 37. 29. Drive your vehicle at least 60 miles per hour, full power on a steep grade. The frequency adjust the pot and rotate with the counterclockwise and increase the generator pressure for 30 minutes. With the frequency adjusting pot rotated counterclockwise to increase generator pressure, go to step 37. For the figure 5 of the rotate the frequency adjustment, trim the pot fully counterclockwise and slowly rate the clockwise. If the generator pressure stops, start to increase before rotating about 90% of the total rotation, go to step 31. If the pressure does not increase, go to step 37. Alright, rotate counterclockwise until the pressure stops. Increase the rotate additional 10 degrees. Wait until the pressure stabilizes. Record to stay in pressure with the slowly rotate the counterclockwise pressure with the drop. Slowly rotate the clockwise pressure and increase until the recorded valve. Record the frequency adjusting pot. Rotate with the clockwise release. Increase pressure. Water hybrid is being determined while idling. Go to step 32 with the vehicle is termed the driving step 43. Rotate the pulse with adjustment, trim the pot with the counterclockwise, slowly clockwise, if the pressure starts before rotating 90% of the total rotation. Step 33, pressure does not increase, go to step 39. Rotate the clockwise until the pressure stops, increase the rotate additional 10 degrees, wait until the pressure stabilizes with the record pressure, then slowly rotate the counterclockwise until the pressure starts to drop, and slowly rotate clockwise until the pressure increases the recorded value. Record these pressure volts with the adjusting pot is rotated with the clockwise, increase the pressure, go to step 34. Alright, step 34. If the tweaking the water hybrid of the engine, I will go to step 35. If the tweaking the water hybrid hybrid while driving, go to step 36. Refer to figure 21 and necessary with the adjusted engine idle with the speed of the loosening hose clamp with the sliding adjust. Slide arm leaving the sleeve of the assembly either before or after. Tightening hose loose clamps firm with the pressure exceeding 28 psi, go to 41. If the pressure 28 psi or less, go to step 28. If the pressure exceeds 62 psi, go to step 42. If the pressure is 62 psi or less, go to step 44. Rotate the frequency adjustment pot with the clockwise, slowly rotate counterclockwise, pressure release start with the increase the rotating 90% of the total rotation, go to step 38. If the pressure does not increase the rotate the clockwise into the midpoint and go to step 32. Rotate slowly counterclockwise until the pressure and stop, increase the rotate an additional 10 degrees, wait until the pressure stabilizes, record pressure, slowly rotate clockwise until the pressure starts to drop. Slowly rate the counterclockwise and pressure, increase the record value. Record the frequency adjusting pot counterclockwise to increase the pressure if the water hybrid is being tuned while idling. Go back to step 32. If the water hybrid is being tuned while driving, go to step 43. Rotate the pulse with adjustment pot fully with the clockwise start. Slowly rotate counterclockwise. The pressure start with the increase before rotating 90 degrees of the total rotation. Go to step 40. If the pressure does not increase, rotate the counterclockwise and then the midpoint. Go to step 34. Alright, 40s. Rotate slowly counterclockwise until the pressure stops increasing. Rotate additional 10 degrees. Wait until the pressure stabilizes. Record pressure. Slowly rotate counterclockwise until the pressure drops. Slowly rotate counterclockwise until the pressure increases the recorded value. Record the pulse with the adjustment pot. Rotated by the counterclockwise increase pressure over the step 34. Alright, 41. Using a marking pin placed in the alignment mark for the frequency adjusting pulse with an adjustment pot determine the amount with the pressure exceeding 28 psi. If the pressure is 32 psi, except if the pressure is 4 psi, reduce the pressure to 28 and alternately rotate each of the pots correct direction with a few degrees at a time. Attempt to divide excess pressure equal between two pots. For example, if the excess pressure is 4 psi, attempt to reduce the pressure 2 psi for each pot. Go back to 28. To step 28. Alright, using marking pin placed in alignment mark on the frequency adjustment, pulse adjustment, and pot to determine the amount with the pressure exceeding 60 psi. For example, 70 psi express pressure at 80 psi. Reduce pressure to 62 psi. Alternate rotate each pot correct with the direction with a few degrees at a time. Attempt to divide excessive pressure equally between the two pots. For example, the excessive pressure 8 psi. Attempt to reduce the 4 psi for each pot. Go to step 44. If the pulse width adjustment pot is rotated clockwise to increase the generator pressure, go back to step 32. If the pulse width adjustment pot rotated counterclockwise to increase the generator, go back to 39. Alright, if it's just completed with the water hybrid tuning after driving 25 miles in a residential, go to step 445. If you just completed with the water hybrid tuning after driving 60 miles an hour full power on the steep grade, go to 67. 45. Refer to figure 21. Be sure the throttle linkage move with the full range of the travel to idle full power with the binding on the road with the rod with the arm before proceeding with the 66 before step 66 before proceeding. Drive your vehicle 60 miles an hour full power on the steep grade, likely to close with the sound of the engine pre-combustion ping, and the engine pings go to step 46. If the engine does not ping, go to step 56. Alright, note these procedure 46 through 65 of the tuning the coil circuit with the create an ideal mixture with the pair of hydrogen created with the coil with the orthodynamic hydrogen created by electrodes. Low level of hydrogen into lean with the can result in the excess of the high cylinder head temperature of the high cylinder head temperature. Common code of the engine pre-combustion ping high level of hydrogen too rich. The low carbon hydrogen temperature coolant combustion decreasing efficiency possibly causing of engine roughness. Optional mixtures achieved by leaving the power hydrogen into a point, creating in the ping with a slightly reaching until the ping disappears. When the subsequent live tuning two different paths, the very important close monitors the carbon or the cylinder head temperature while learning to prevent excessive high carbon cylinder head temperature. Further, cylinder head temperature record step 1 driving 60 miles an hour full power on steep grade. Be sure cylinder head temperature does not exceed the record value of more than 40 degrees. Never allow the cylinder head temperature to exceed 400 degrees. 46. For figure 6 for the rotate the pulse width adjustment pot fully counterclockwise if the engine pings. Go to step 47 with the engine does not ping. So go to step 53. Rotate counterclockwise if the engine pings. Go to step 48 if the engine does not ping. Go to step 53. Slowly rotate the counterclockwise if the cylinder head temperature decrease with the contact. Continue rotating counterclockwise until the cylinder head temperature stops decreasing. Go to step 49 if the cylinder head temperature increase with the rotating cylinder counterclockwise. Rotate counterclockwise. Slowly rotate clockwise until cylinder head temperature stops decreasing. Go to step 49. Rotate strength adjustment pot fully with the counterclockwise engine pings. Go to step 50 if the engine pot does not ping. Go to step 54. Step 50, rotate fully clockwise. The engine pings. Rotate each of the pot midpoint. Go to step 51. If the engine does not ping, go to step 55. Turn the point. Turn the power off for figure 6 for the coil circuit that does not get enough pair of hydrogen. Replace with the 10K resistor the correcting the pinpoint. Pin 3 connect component for the NE55 the base for the component and 2 N305 with a 10K pot. Adjust the pot with from about 9K resistance. Go back to the step 45 if the reach. The step again, adjust the pot 8K to go back to step 45 necessary each time you reach the step. Adjust the pot with 1K less. Go back to the step 45 if the pot is eventually adjusted to 2K or less. The circuit component is defective. To locate the replacement defective component, adjust the pot to 10K. Turn the power on and go back to step 45. Alright, step 52. Slowly rotate clockwise until the ping starts. Slowly rotate counterclockwise until the ping stops. Continue to rotate the counterclockwise in 5 or more degrees. The cylinder head temperature is more than 30 degrees higher than the value recorded in step 1. Continue to slowly rotate counterclockwise until the cylinder head temperature decreases 40 degrees above the recorded value. Go to step 29. 53. Slowly rate the counterclockwise until the ping starts. Slowly rotate clockwise until the ping stops. Continue to rotate clockwise about 5 degrees. Cylinder head temperature is more than 40 degrees higher than the value recorded in step 1. Continue slow rotating cylinder clockwise until the cylinder head temperature decreases 40 degrees above the recorded values. Go in step between 29. Alright, 54. Slowly rotate counterclockwise until the ping starts. Slowly rotate counterclockwise until the ping stops. Continue to rotate counterclockwise about 5 more degrees. The cylinder head is more than 40 degrees higher than the value recorded in step 1. Continue slowly counterclockwise until the cylinder head decreases 40 degrees above the recorded value. Go to step 29. Alright, 55. Slowly rotate counterclockwise until the ping starts. Slowly rotate counterclockwise until the ping stops. Continue to rotate clockwise until about 5 more degrees. Cylinder head temperature of 40 degrees higher than the value recorded in step 1. Continue to slowly rotating counterclockwise until the decrease of 40 degrees above the recorded value. Go to step 29. 56. Referring to figure 6, rotate the pulse width adjustment pot fully counterclockwise. If the engine pings, go to step 62. If the engine does not ping, go to step 57. 57. Rotate fully clockwise. The engine pings. Go to step 63. If the engine does not ping, go to step 58. Slowly turn clockwise. The cylinder head temperature increase. Continue to rotate counterclockwise until the cylinder head temperature stops increasing. Go to step 59. The cylinder head temperature increase. The rotating counterclockwise. Rotate the fully counterclockwise. Slowly rotate counterclockwise until the cylinder head temperature stops increasing. Go to step 59. Step 59. Rotating strain adjustment pot fully counterclockwise. The engine pings and goes still. Step 64. Fully. If the engine does not ping, go to step 60. Rotate the fully counterclockwise. The engine pings. Go to step 65. If the engine does not ping, rotate each point to the midpoint. Go to 61. Alright, turn off the power, refer to the figure 6 for the whole circuit with the producing excessive power hydrogen, replace with the 10K resistor connection pin 3 with the connecting new component NE55 base component NE3505 with the 20K pot, adjust the pot with 11K resistance, go back to the 45 to reach with the steps again, adjust the 12K resistance, go back to step 45. Necessary each time you reach the, if it's necessary each time you reach this step, adjust the pot with 1K more resistance, go back to step 45 of the pot, eventually adjust to the 18K resistance or more. A circuit component is defective located, replace the defective component, adjust the pot for 10K, turn on power and go back to step 45. Alright, slowly rotate clockwise until the ping stop. Continue with the rotate the clockwise until the 5 more degrees. The cylinder height temperature more than 40 degrees higher than the value recorded in step 1. Continue slowly rotate the clockwise until the center head temperature decreases 40 degrees above the recorded value. Goes to step number 66. 63. Slowly rate counterclockwise until the ping stop. Continue to rotate clockwise with 5 more degrees. The cylinder head temperature more than 40 degrees higher than the value recorded in step 1. Continue slowly rotating counterclockwise, and with the cylinder head temperature decrease 40 degrees above the recorded value, go to step 66. Or 64. Slowly rotate counterclockwise until the ping stop. Continue to rotate clockwise and furthermore 5 or more degrees. The cylinder head temperature is more than 40 degrees. Then value recorded in step 1. Continue slowly rotating counterclockwise. Cylinder head temperature 40 degrees above the recorded value. Go to step 66. Slowly rotate counterclockwise until the ping stops. Until the rotate with the counterclockwise until the 5 more degrees. Cylinder head temperature is more than 40 degrees above the value recorded. Go to step 1. Continues recorded in step 1. Continue slowly rotating counterclockwise. Cylinder head temperature 40 degrees above the recorded value. Go to step 29. Alright, step 66. Precise throttle adjustment is easy. The special feature of the water, easy using special feature for the hybrid system throttle assembly figure 21. Here's the recommended method. Disengage the arm throttle rod. Rotate the pod shaft through the total rotation range of rotation required from idle into full power. Use the full ruler measure. Record the total distance travel. The tip of the throttle rod is the pot rotated. B. Rotate the pot shaft the midpoint with the rich position throttle linkage at the midpoint. Travel the slide arm with the throttle rod. Attach the arm with the sleeve of the throttle linkage to the hose clamp. Raise lower pot and rotate the mounting bracket about 1/4 inch above the throttle linkage. Move the throttle range of the travel if necessary to obtain the added distance between the pot and arm. The arm and sleeve. The assembly to be inverted position of the arm and linkage. To assure the smooth operation without binding, be sure the throttle rod is square, but the surface of the arm linkage with the midpoint with the travel is necessary with the rotate of the body of the pod body within 3/32 then slowly and rotate the sleeve of the axis linkage with the throttle rod is square with the arm. Adjust idle speed if the desired open the throttle through the several cycles to verify the smooth operation without binding. Firm tightening, mounting bolts of the hose clamp and potting, retaining fit nuts and throttle idle position. Trim throttle rod with the length of the protrude with 1/4 inch above the arm. Square rod end of the front valve dipper with the sand and mixing small quantities of epoxy such as JB weld and applying 3/32 slot in an area with the anti-rotation pin to secure the pot against the rotation. Alright, step 67. While driving, verify the 4 LEDs were operated as follows. General power on lights when on, power is on, not light when power is off. The general pump and the yellow-green water light allows power light off the water pump is running not all other times. Red tank water low is not the tank water level low is more than 1/2 full. It blinks when water level below low full. In all 4 LEDs appropriate properly go to step 68. If not operating properly, go to figure 5, 6, and 7. Then troubleshoot locate with the defective component wiring error repair of the replacement necessary. Go to step 68. 68. Congratulations, the water hybrid system is working perfect after about 25 hours of driving. Firmly tighten the hose clamps and all fittings. Happy driving. Alright, helpful hints. Here's some helpful hints to tips that help you get the most of the water hybrid system. Maintenance water hybrid system practically maintenance free. You just fill up the water and drive it. But tap water contains mineral and accumulation with the generator coats and parts. The electrical gap with it gradually filled with a deposit efficiently with keeping the drop of insufficient hydrogen and oxygen available to power engine. Prevent mineral buildup periodically flushing and cleaning the generator. Flushing since quickly and if easily effectively, highly recommend flushing generator at least once every 2 weeks, every week or two. There's no need to start the engine. Simply open the drain cock and turn the power on for a minute. For a minute or two, the water pump will provide plenty of fresh water too. The good job to use the drain cock, the water generate the water to pump full, turn the power off. Be sure the top of the water. Be sure to top off the water tank. Cleaning a thin layer of minerals will evenly coat the generator parts. Must periodically removed depending on the mineral content with the water amount. The division of cleaning requirements may vary considerably. To be on the safe side, I recommend cleaning every month or two. Mildly acidic mineral deposit cleaner such as CLR, available at large grocery stores and hardware stores, works very well. Dozens of similar products on the market must be even the clean deposit humidifier. Any storage carrying humidifier should be also an effective cleaner. Make sure the power is off the drain. The generator. Disconnect the outlet tube with the tube flame arrestor and close the drain cock. Warning: protective goggles. Mixture clean 50-50 water. Make sure 50-50 with water. Follow the manufacturer pour when through the tube when the generator is full. Allow the cleaner to work for a few minutes. Follow the manufacturer directions. Drain the bucket with a large container. Repeat the procedure with one more time. Examine the drain clock cleaner with the necessary with the drain cleaner with the air clear. Close the drain pipe. Fill the generator with the fresh water with the tube in the drain. Repeat the tube one more time. Turn on the power. Flush for a minute or two. Close the drain cock. Wait for the generator to pump. Close the drain cock. Turn the power off. Reconnect the tube with the flame arrestor. Be sure to top off the tank. Alright, cold weather operation. Outside temperature are below freezing. Isopro alcohol should be mixed with the water to prevent freezing. Since the alcohol changes the dielectrical properties of the water hybrid system operating frequency must be changed. Adjusting frequency, adjusting trim pipe, the performance and refer to Figure 5. Work underway to develop a nichrome wire electric heating device. Cold weather operation. You will be notified of the device and plans of their construction become available. Alright, spare generator. Because of the general reliability low maintenance factor, it's easy to forget that the water hybrid system requires at least some periodic attention. Eventually, the primary generator may be clogged with the mineral deposit due to neglected maintenance, may even fail in some since nothing is perfect. Something always seems to happen at the worst possible moment that you want to consider the building and installing the spare generator just to act as a backup. If you be sure to able to keep all the dimensions same with the primary generator, if no retuning is needed, they will all have to do the switch few wires, tubes, and other spares. The generators are back on the road. Alright, good old stainless steel. The only combustion product with the water hybrids unpowered engine contributes to the overall exhaust combustion and was water vapor. All we know what water, especially hot water, does the steel, unless the engine has already equipped the stainless steel valve that you should have looked into having installed as soon as possible to prevent valve corrosion probable, which could eventually lead to other serious problems. Stainless steel valves are relatively inexpensive. Almost high performance shops can install them. Your exhaust system should also be is also vulnerable to rust, but you have more options. The system as a whole, you may choose to let it eventually rust out and replace it with a stainless steel system, or if the system is new and any one of the new readily available ceramic coating processes will prevent rusting. The most practical answer for the rust problem involved developing water-compatible additive inhibit corrosions. Apparently, such an additive is very close to be marketed. Liquid ratio of 3 parts additive to 100 parts water. Good old JB Weld. First chance I recommend is sealing the wires and all the connectors. Highly quality epoxy such as JB Weld. Not only to the physical strength of the connector, but also able to seal against corrosion, especially effective with the connectors inside of the engine compartment. Only a small amount of the epoxy. Do not overdo with the point with the epoxy flows of the connector contacts them. Keep close watch. Always keep the time with the cylinder head temperature pressure gauge. They tell you about how much system pressure for any particular moment. Any sudden unexpected change of the temperature and pressure, unusual sign that the problem has occurred. It is about to occur. Eventually develop and feel interpretation of the gauges. Alright, the Garrett's gauge. Here's a complete hydrogen oxygen system, figure 22, with all wrapped in neat little packages. The ingenious concept with all basic end elements are there, but in a way the countless other inventors dreamed doomed to fail only because of the lack of the vital technology. Charles Garlett, original patented the gadget back in 1932, and terminating it is the electronic carburetor that produced the charging electrodes with a storage battery. He proposed charging the electrodes with a storage battery and hopelessly inadequate power source. Lead plates served as water capacitors, weak sulfuric acid electrolyte. Since the water chamber has been electrically non-conductive, it was constructed a bakelite, an early day form of plastic. An electric motor drove the gear with an offset pin linkage, actually switching the reverse battery polarity to the plates, mechanically creating a very low frequency, low voltage pulse. Water level was mechanically controlled means of the float needle valve assembly designed to restrict water inlet port. Leaking Garrett gadget was seen. We can see the basic concept of the water port is water port engine is newly idea. By any means, he was on the right track. All he needed was 70 more years of developing technology. Or this shows Garrett's gadget. References: you have Stephen Chambers operative, the producing author, orthohydrogen parahydrogen, U.S. patent 6126794, prototype vapor fuel system, Stanley Meyer, method of production, fuel gas, U.S. patent 4936961, cart, cell, water fuel card, next maximum, Nexus magazine, October to November 1996, Peter Lindemann, when world is all free energy, William S. Power, the Hydrostar, GM, George Wiseman, the Gas Saver, the Hi-Eco series, and C. Miller Holler, the Dromedary newsletter, Subcarb Techniques. And thought or two, don't count. During countless hours spent to research and compiling material for this book, I was constantly amazed with the ingenuity of the hundreds of patent inventions I had been upon. Happened upon. I hope and enjoy the book of the real challenge for me. I had a great time putting it together. Do not forget to let me know about your experience with the water hybrid. Happy driving. And that was part 3. Is your car thirsty for gas? Learn how to run your car in water.